Silent Gloves. Let's go into Alex first. Let's do Alex first. And actually have... See, so what we usually have, the typical submission format, I guess, would be just a website kind of thing, where you just say, like, here is my stuff. Here is my home online. This encapsulates everything about me, and there you go. That said, some of these reels we get are just, here's a Vimeo link, which is fine, and here's a YouTube link, which is fine too, but we will tell you that it's not going to be as effective as a website with that reel embedded on the front page, being here you go. So let's go right ahead and do, oh my god, like this name, I'll zoom in for you guys. I'm going to call you Alex, because your Twitter says Alex. I believe this is for Never Rachel in the chat right now. I believe. We actually did a... I can actually find this right now. We did a... or can I? Let's see here. Is this going to work? I think so. If I go to... Oh, we can find this easily. Oh, screw it. So we did an AMA on Reddit last week. And... here it is. Got it. We did an AMA on Reddit, and that was myself and Matt Martinson and Jay Fernandez. Here it is. And it went super well. We had 160 comments. Yo! It was really good. And it was kind of in... I don't know what the best word to use is, but it was some damage control, I suppose. There was some damage control to follow up on an AMA of sorts being done by a fellow who was claiming a lot of experience in games, and it was pretty transparently obvious that he did not have a lot of experience in games. And it's not worth going into it more than that, but it was some bad info being spread, like Matt says. Some really bad info. Just things like wait until the last minute before putting music in. Like, that was a piece of advice being given, and it was not good at all. It was not good. So we dropped in, helped out, and in here was one fellow, for Never Rachel. There they are. And we recommended Real Talk, and we got a submission for Real Talk, so freaking A. Thanks a lot, man. So let's jump into the reel, yes? So here's the site. We've got Alex, oh man, Papiachvili? Papiachvili? I don't know. CHV is a crazy combination for English-speaking Kevin. 105, yo! So it should be noted that For Never Rachel here said, I have a 17-minute long Pro Tools reel. See that? I feel a bit dumb now. Well, that's the thing, because people don't really know what is expected and what employers really expect to see. So I don't really blame you. I mean, going to something like the Gang Audio Demo Derby at GDC, you see all kinds. I mean, it goes from things that are really, really well formatted and kind of correct, quote unquote, or more typical as far as what you'd expect to see in a hireable designer's reel. And then you have stuff that is just, it just goes outward from there. Not even like to bad, but just to different in every direction. And 17 minutes is one of those directions. So let's hope that we can find a good place to land here. So let's play. I'm at full volume, I believe. Pretty sure. And before we jump in here, I want to be clear, we're looking for these things as far as our criteria are concerned. We're looking for presentation, and that includes everything from your site, everything in your reel, and that goes beyond just sound too. That's things like flow and transitions and titles and spelling errors, like everything like that. And then from there into material selection, it's like what kinds of things are you showing in your reel? What does that say about you and as a designer? The content quality is, of course, just is this stuff good or not? And if it's not good, we'll try and tell you how you can improve it. And distinction. Distinction is kind of a buzzword, but it just means anything that you've done or demonstrated that would help you stand out from the vast crowd that is your competition as far as other designers trying to get jobs. Yeah? So, more ambience, says Barney. Yeah, it's we have very common responses that are kind of common mistakes. We actually submitted a talk proposal to GDC, Matt and I, about talking about frequent problems or frequent shortfalls in reels we see on Real Talk or landing on our doorstep at our respective studios. And it got rejected. So you will not see that talk at GDC unless the audio track picks it up. But I mean, it's kind of up in the air, so we'll see. So without further ado, let's jump into Alex Papiachvili. Oh my god, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I can't be correct, right? Let's do it.
Ow! Remember, we are trying to block Nectar. Who's your Beemo? Beemo block!
Drag the matching activity over to each one of our friends.
Make sandcastles!
Sandsucker! Paint a parrot.
Thanks, Alex. All right, let's jump on this out really fast here, too. So menu, let's just have a look at the site before we talk too much about the reel. So, hi, I'm Alex. I make sounds for video games and interactive applications. Click on any project below to learn more about my work. Great. And LinkedIn page. I don't really care personally about LinkedIn at all. I've never clicked a LinkedIn link on someone's page, but maybe someone will find that more relevant. And then these things are further looks into the things we just saw, I suppose, which is great. This is really, really nice. And SoundCloud link, okay. And LinkedIn. So up your menu, is there... Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. So portfolio... Are we on the portfolio page right now? Is that what we're looking at? Is that different? Oh, it's like the same thing. Okay, that's kind of weird. And then about... So that's different. So, I'm a sound designer and composer with 3 years experience for video games, passionate about creating memorable experiences for players by using audio as an emotional and oral device in the interactive world. Great. I use my creativity, enthusiasm, and persistence to deliver high-quality audio assets and implement them into their final form. I absolutely love working in a team environment, encouraging and acting upon critical feedback. I want to keep pushing forward all aspects of interactive audio and computer games. Great. Although computer games is perhaps... a misnomer. You might want to work on like PS4 and stuff too, right? Specialties, editing, Pro Tools, all this stuff. Yo, speakerphone for the win. So good. Implementation. Foley, field voiceovers, interactive, real-time, music production, live logic. Cool. All right. So like Matt says, this kind of confused me. Like I don't like this so much. This is weird to me. Like portfolio... I guess this is your main page again, back here. Okay, yeah. So it struck me as strange that this is down here and it's here. That's a bit weird to me, but not a huge deal. Contact and resume. Okay, resume here. I'm actually gonna look at these right now. I'm curious. Gmail address and resume. Great. Oh, it's right here. Is the same thing? So, oh, I see. It's a download. Okay, this is like the... Okay, got it. All right, rad. Thank you. I understand now. Yeah, so for me as well, Matt's saying personally don't really care about software lists or specific plugins and stuff. And he also said link titles aren't matching page titles, which is a bit confusing. Yeah, so like about is fine, and then portfolio has no title, or it's a project is the title, I guess. And then, but the main page, there's no like main link here, but I guess your name's the main link. So just, I don't know, just the navigation's weird to me, but it's not the end of the world. As far as your about stuff goes, like these things, I don't really care what you use at all. If it comes down to it that I need you to work in Pro Tools, I might ask you, but I don't think that someone's gonna need to know you can work in Twisted Wave. You know, I don't think it really matters at all. It's just extra information. It's just clutter. You know, if I want to look at, let's look at a site I love dearly, shall we? let's look at Alex Barnhart's page again. I love this guy. Look at this page. This is lovely. I love this page so much. We got sound design, done. Composition, solo collaborations, done. About, here's me in like a few words, done. Like that's all you need. This is beautiful because you need to realize that if you even get a few moments of someone's time, you should be pumped. It's more useful on like a resume, Simply Steve, I think. Yeah, because I mean, if you want to fill space and say, here's what I can work in, things like Wise and Fmod are really relevant. Unreal Engine, Unity, really relevant. Twisted Wave, I don't really care at all. That's not really that important. It's the software that you might want to put down are things that would you would see involvement with others, like collaboration with others. So, for example, if we at PowerUp work with somebody, it's very common for someone to say, "Oh, what are you most comfortable in for middleware?" Or what do you like? Are you ever in Unity when you're working on projects? Or questions like that. So that said, we can answer, yeah, sure, we're okay with Unity and we're okay with Wise, we're okay with Fmod, that kind of thing. But no one's going to be like, do you use Twisted Wave? Like, that's just never going to happen. So you just need to edit, and I'm sure Matt would agree too that if you can edit in Logic or Reaper or Pro Tools or whatever, I don't really care what you do. Oh, there you go. So he says, personally, I just need to know you can use a DAW, can use middleware, and maybe other areas like video editing or design stuff. Because the whole like T-shaped individual thing, right? You have like many skills and you're really good at one thing. So that's, I don't know. It's kind of nitpicky, but I don't think you need it. Skills is more important than software. Yeah. Okay. And as far as your reel goes, let's get back there again. Oh yeah, your name. Yeah, I don't really care about this at all on your front page. And like, yeah, it's fine. Like this bio says so little, or not a bio, the little blurb says so little that it's almost not even necessary, but it's probably fine to have there. So let's talk about your reel. Yes, let's do it. 105 is a great length, so good job on that one. I'm really happy that we didn't watch a 17-minute reel today. I'm really pumped with that, so thank you for doing it. For artists, it's chops are better than Photoshops. There you go. Perfect. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Jesse. So let's go through this thing, shall we? This is great. Name, sound design reel, year, and contact. Done. Out of curiosity, did you watch some Real Talks? I think you said you did, right? I can't recall if that was you or not. I think it was. Because that is a very common piece of feedback we give. We say, put your name, put what it is, and put your email there. Like, make it as easy as possible to get in touch. Don't make them go look for your name. So we'll carry on from there. Here we go. Right away, this seems quiet to me. Because we go back to mix retro new wave. I'm going to start low and I'll turn it up. We'll see how loud we get, okay? That's here. Let's turn it up. Okay, and now let's watch the reel.
Ow! Remember, we are trying to block Nectar. Who's your Bimo? Bimo block!
Bimo block.
Activity over to each one of
Okay, first off, flow-wise, it's great. I like how it goes from this to this to this to this. It's great. Really nice. Titles are okay, but they're not very clear. So it's fair to say.
Remember.
So okay, here we go. So we go from this. We say, okay, cool. We got Alex's reel. Great. And now this is apparently Adventure Time episode iOS. Great. Did you work on it? I'm I can probably go down here and learn more, as it says at the top. Is this the same one as this? Furniture and meat? Let's find out. Implementation in Fmod and interactive audio, crossfading music. See, I can find out here, yes, but I think it doesn't take much more effort to tell me this ahead of time. Like, put something like content creation and Fmod implementation. Or like sound design and Fmod implementation. Like, put what you did in the thing. Because otherwise, it's just sort of... It's information out of context. So like Matt says, don't make anyone guess what they're seeing. I watched through, and I was guessing for everything. For the whole reel, I was thinking, okay, I wonder if this is a real thing that they actually did, or if it's a redesign, or if they just did some sound design, or just like did voice work, or whatever. I mean, I have contributed to a lot of projects, but I haven't done the entire thing for a lot of projects. I've done contributing roles like voice editing or voice casting or a bit of sound design or sound support or implementation or consulting. Like there's very few games for which I have been the guy for the project, you know? So saying that you were the guy for the project is really great. To say that you did all the sound design, you did all the implementation. If you had more roles than that, then do it up. Just list off bam, 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 and you're good to go. And then yeah, so Matt says was guessing, except for the last bit that said redesign. So once I saw that for the plain sight, it says plain sight sound redesign. That's good, but it seems like it's only halfway there for the whole reel, because the other one should say what you did. Totally. It's not even that you... I fear that you're robbing yourself, potentially, of people knowing that you had more roles than they're guessing. Because if they guess you just did sound design and passed it off to a developer and they said, thanks, see ya, then that's incorrect, because you did the implementation too, right? So definitely put down what you did.
We are trying to block.
And next one.
Beemo block!
Titles are fine.
Matching activity
Great.
over to each one of our friends.
Julius Jr., Perfect Pirate Day. Pretty cute. And then same notes. iOS is great. Saying iOS and iOS tells me that... So last week we were saying to somebody, who was that? They were saying, how do you show that you've, shipped something? I think it was Taylor. And we said, do this. Put in the platform, like iOS or PC Mac Linux or whatever. Because that says it shipped on a thing and that you did a ship project. And the fact that you said iOS here implied that you worked on it, but like I said, you can be more specific. You can be more specific.
Each one of our friends.
Make sandcastles!
Make sandcastles. Let's carry on. Tom and Jerry, Sans Little Helpers, iOS, Android. Great. Same thing, same notes. And next up, plain sight sound redesign. Cool. I didn't like how the title dropped out though. See this? Look at this. You have these awesome crossfades throughout the whole thing. Boom! Crossfade.
Beemo!
Crossfade it. Do it.
Beemo block!
Drag the match
Yeah, crossfade. And then we have this,
friend.
and it is gone. Kevin being nitpicky as right now. Yeah, cool. It's a great flow, really good flow. So good job. That's actually not very common on Real Talk. So good on you. Let's talk about material selection. Yes. So material selection, I think that showing that you did, if this said Fmod implementation, then great. And I'm gonna click on these other ones too, just to inform ourselves here. Let's have a look. So Tom and Jerry's and Julius Jr. And these weren't included, I guess. So let's have a look here. This one, we looked at that. We kind of looked at it. So due to producing, I was also sound design lead. Yo, there you go. With a trainee working under my supervision. You had trainees? That's awesome. Okay. There's more here, or this is more projects. This is, Oh, it's like a selection of other ones? That's weird. Don't put this here. I don't think it's worthwhile, unless you have all of them again. But even then, it's just kind of weird. Because like me, I control click and open more things. It feels weird to me to have more here. You shouldn't be thinking like, I need to have people like keep them on the page, because either you got their attention with your reel or you didn't. And there's no in between really. So you don't need to do this at all. You don't need to think of ways to make it like, oh, I gotta hold their attention. It's not worth it. So showing stuff you've worked on that is shipped is good, says Matt. But, as Kevin is saying, kind of selling yourself short on what you did on each of them. Yeah, say what you did. Be shameless. Plain Sight. Experimental film made by Mustard Cuffins. Okay. Redesigned sound. Personal project. It wasn't live. Better narrative. Eerie atmosphere. Sound recorded myself from audio banks. Watch the original video by clicking here. That's cool. And also bold. Having the original video linked to from your page. If it's better, then you're in trouble. But if it's different, that's really cool. Cool. All right. Great. Awesome. Excuse me. Santa's Little Helpers. Biggest episode asterisk. What's the asterisk all about? An episode is a mix. Okay, got it. Made by Plumsy. One of the best projects, having a classic cartoon feel to it, missions, numerous sound files, musics, interactive scenes, localization, was even released in Japan. Yeah, cool. So this information is awesome, because the fact is I didn't know enough about it, but you can definitely find a middle ground as far as putting more just point form what you did. And then these things here, written as it is great. It's very to the point and feels pretty good. But on your reel, you need to go, boom, put it there right now. Cool. That's fine. Matt says you need to really lay out what you're responsible for, which would make the material selection even more relevant. So you could be more like point form here, because the thing is, you need to assume that people's time is valuable and they don't have time to read everything. So you could even do something like we did on our page. I've shown this before actually, where on our site we don't expect everyone to, as Frida says, read the book jacket. We expect them to click through and say, okay, cool, got it, and close the page. I mean, our average on our site's like a minute and a half, which is like not bad, honestly. I'm happy with that. 90 seconds of someone's time, great. So here we go. We have, all these things are like linked. Boom. Here's like title, boom, and here's like the composer we worked with and more info. That's all we need to have, and the rest you can read if you want, but it's not really pressing. For services, similarly, overview. We're audio specialists. We're passionate gamers. We're energetic professionals. You can read the rest, but I don't really expect you to care. It's not that relevant. If you do, thanks for your time. But I don't expect it at all, and neither does anybody else in our team. So for your site, if you have something like at the top, be like responsibilities or roles, and then bam, 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 like sound creation or audio director, implementation, or like Wise implementation or QA or whatever you did, then it's like I can see very quick and just move on. Or if you want to have it like this, you could do something like, yeah, you can't really do it very easily here. The way you phrased it, it's hard to point form it, But having roles like bam, bam, bam is tough with the way you've done it. So it might be worth your time to have a roles section also, and then have the blurb beneath that or something, just to have it, again, like so people can click through and get the gist and move on. For Perfect Pirate Day, again, Fmod, there you go. Music loops. Oh, so you did music editing, okay. So yeah, there you go. So music editing, audio editing, F1 implementation, voiceover management. Great. Like put all those things just at the top. We know right away. Easy enough. And here is a minute 12 of it. Cool. Yeah, great. Really, really cool. So, Dark Twinge, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, it's even hard to get 90 seconds to be up someone's time. Entertainment video someone actively chose to click on. Yes. The stat that you get people to stay 90 seconds on your site's a big number to think about. One of the reasons you want to have a reel over a minute. Yes, exactly. So if you have a 17-minute reel, of course, it's like an arbitrarily extreme example, courtesy of Alex here, thank you for that, then if we get 90 seconds of someone's time, they're going to watch 10 seconds and then click through maybe. It's going to be, there's no way I'm going to land on a random page and assume it's worth my time. It might be, but that assumption is a very bold assumption considering the vast sea of garbage online, you know? It's a real big gamble to commit yourself into that kind of time. So for material selection on your reel as a whole, it's great. You just need to be clearer on what the hell it is you did in these projects, that's all. And as far as, because even now, even having gone through those things, I'm sure I don't remember exactly what it is you did in these things. So if you had this episode followed by sound design, fmod, whatever. Disioed, yeah, I was talking about that with our page as far as bolding roles in line to save horizontal space. Yeah, I'm down with that. If you can rephrase a sentence in a way to include your roles and then bold those roles, then that's a great way to do it too. Totally. Just the way he phrased it it's not very easy to do that at present because he wasn't thinking that way, right? So material-wise, I'm down. I really enjoy it. The sound design, I mean, it is all mobile, so that's one thing to think about. If you're okay with doing only mobile, and then plain sight's kind of a curveball, bit of a wild card thing, like a short film. But in terms of things you did in fmod, that's great. It's really, really cool. So Care Bears episode, Pro Tools workflow demo. We got Dora episodes. Box Out. What's Box Out? What is this? Fast-paced platform game developed by a French indie company called The Picky Monkey. Freelance sound design.
Meditation.
Barney, you weren't following us? Are you kidding? How is that possible? All right. Well, thanks, man. Thanks a lot for that. So the game's available on Steam. So why didn't you want to include this one? You did the OST also. So you did sound design and music. This is all music. Okay, that's why. Well, Steam is different. I mean, assuming the game sounds good. I don't know if it sounds good because I don't have the gameplay here, but music sounds fine. Sounds cool. So I'm curious why you don't want to include this one. What you could do is record some gameplay and kill off music. I mean, I assume you have access to a build that you can do that in fmod. Just mute the track without like live update on, and then do that. Is that reasonable? Just have sound design only and include that also? Because the thing is, depending on what you want to do in the future, right now you have mobile episodes and mobile games and some like short film redesign. So this tells me you work in mobile games and you specialize in mobile games. So if I'm looking to hire you, I better be making a mobile game or a mobile episode. If you don't want that, then unsure. Alexandre, I may be dropping some frames too, so let me know if this quality is poor. It's kind of turning red a bit. It might be a server thing. So if you did want to move outside that, I would recommend doing something like doing a mock-up of something outside your wheelhouse. So moving on into like some platforming, like that thing you had, or if you want to work in 3D, just redesign some 3D thing, redesign a trailer, redesign some gameplay. Do something like Mauricio Ruiz did with his Trine redesign, right? He had like the, is that here? Here we go. He had this quick Trine redesign here in the middle. So there you go. It kind of shows that you're like, oh, I want to work on other things. I have the skills for it, but I just haven't worked there yet. But having this kind of thing shows interest. And if I'm making a game like Trine or something in that same kind of realm of games at least, then I might consider you. If you didn't have that in there, I would look at your reel and say, oh, he's a mobile games sound designer. I guess I'll move on. So it depends what you want to specialize in. If you want to specialize in mobile, then great. If not, then I'd be careful about what you're showing. As in terms of content quality, it's quiet, but I like it. It's pretty cool.
We are trying to block Nectar. Who's your Beemo? Beemo block!
Drag the matching activity over to each one of our friends.
Yeah, it's like really, really polite and casual.
Sandsucker!
Paint a parrot.
I didn't hear that the first time. Paint a parrot. What the heck is that? Well, carrying on. Those pirate parrots are... Yeah, it's cute. Is that the entire game? Because this is a lot of the same. In terms of showing this game, it's like... Run, run, run. Yeah, they're fine. Like, I mean, I have no like Matt, I have no comments on content quality. It fits the games. They shipped like that, so I judge differently, knowing it went through all the people that a game does to ship. Just one scene of the game. You might want to show more than one scene, man, because it seems like this is kind of a lot of the same. But like, you know, show like a duck and a jump and a dodge and a bling, and then show something else. Might be worthwhile. And this thing's kind of whatever. I mean, it's like an experimental piece, kind of surreal visuals. It's fine, but I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. The distinction thing, you've shipped games a bunch.
Ow!
And these are pretty good titles, too. Like, Adventure Time's not a small franchise, you know? It's pretty good IP. But apart from that, there's nothing really standout-ish here. It's like, if you're up against other mobile developers, you've done some mobile stuff, but it's not mind-blowing. It's okay. It's good. And it shipped, so that's the important part. So, yeah, as far as... It really depends. I didn't see if you said in the chat as far as what you want to be doing, but if you want to hit me with kind of what your plans are for the coming years as far as what you want to do with your career in design, then if this is what you want to do, like mobile, then awesome. If it's not, then you might want to diversify a bit and show what else you can do, you know? So, Matt says, distinction, shipped games, good. Real doesn't call out what you did, which would help. If it called out what you did, it would help a lot. But you didn't do that. So if you did, it would be very helpful. And showing you had large roles, like I supervised people and stuff, that's a pretty big deal. Because you aren't a student. Okay. So I think that's it for this one. Demo reel, this is already here, I guess, the same thing. Is this... Okay, yeah. More projects. This strikes me as things that aren't the real. But I guess... I don't know. Whatever. That's fine. We'll carry on from there, yes? Thanks a lot, Alex. If you have any more comments or pieces of feedback for us, if you want any clarification on stuff, feel free to tweet at us or hit me up in the chat or elsewhere, and I'll do my best to get back to you, yeah? Oh, and one thing we do say, and we didn't mention, Matt, is that we often, for a sound design reel, we will often kill off music. And with this one, it was captured gameplay from the games, so it's...
We are trying to
I'm not as concerned about it, but... And you're kind of the whole package, like you do music composition and sound design, so I understand. This reel is to show that, and that's important. But you might want to put in something like music and sound design reel, or audio reel, or something, because sound design reel implies that it's going to be a reel for sound design. Okay, so Matt mentioned the music aspects thing. Okay, I must have missed it. Sorry about that. So, yeah, if you put in sound design reel, people might expect, and myself and Matt included, might expect to see sound design work primarily. But what you've done is fine, because this is a very accurate representation of what you do in these projects, and that's a good thing, because that's what your reel should do. So you'd like to go in a bigger studio, work on console games, and yeah, I believe I need more game sound redesign. Yeah, you probably do. It can be difficult if you work on many things that are the same, and then you want to do not that. I got some pals at an audio studio that do a lot of casino work, like a lot of casino work. So many casino jobs, it's crazy, and it pays very well, but they don't want to do casino work forever. Doing slots gets old, you know, and it's difficult to get out of it because they have all these connections, in gaming, in casino gaming, and not as many in other kind of facets of the industry. So it's not easy, but in order to do that, they have to find their way in, and you may have to do that. So let's carry on from there. Yes, thank you again. Thank you very much. Let's jump into box out. Now get out of here. Audio questions. Got